That time when it's been 2 weeks since you've put up a video and you really feel like you owe it to your fans to say something, anything. So I'm going to talk about balance because, bipolar. But honestly, I think that maybe some of us with bipolar, I'm just going to say us, because I'm sure I've been there myself, get hooked on the extremes of mood, especially the promise of a bit of hypomania. But even just, those extremes, those ups and downs, sometimes seem more exciting than what can seem like a flat affect or apathy or something on certain medications. And yet, I only have my own experience to really go by on these sorts of things, like how we experience life. But just, is it really being flat or dull, or is it just not having the extremes? And I think that probably sometimes you just have to be the person that's going through the thing, and maybe, I do think that sometimes that we can be over medicated. I've been over medicated. But also sometimes I've had the experience where things just level out, and at first it's like, this is weirdly uneventful. Is this how normies live their life? Like, just kind of, I don't know, like stable and consistent, just something to think about. And as always, I welcome comments. What your own experience maybe has been with medications, and have you ever felt like you had a flat affect? Did you ever decide to stop taking meds or ask for an adjustment? How did things go with you? I think that is probably enough conversation for people on the bipolar spectrum for a long time. And lastly, I will just say, I did say that I feel, maybe in retrospect, I have been over medicated, and probably a couple times. And this is kind of how I knew. So the first time was just basically because I was sleeping like 18 hours a day. But I think for a little while, I needed to actually catch up on like a huge years-long sleep debt from burning the candle at both ends. So that happened. And it didn't last forever. The other time was when I was getting these IM intramuscular, shots of Haldol every month, and I was also on Depakote. And I've always been a very vocal person, very talkative. Like, the hyperverbal isn't necessarily like a good gauge for me of hypomania, because I'm always talkative. It's more like, can I carry a stream of thought? I'm gonna meander, but like when I've been hypomanic, like it's just like, it's probably extremely really all over the place. Like, couldn't even probably complete a sentence, like just total non sequiturs. So that's not exactly me right now, but when I was on that particular set of medications, I just remember like being in a conversation and not having anything to say. Like, it was the weirdest thing, because I've never experienced this in my life. Like, and it wasn't like, it was an interesting respite for a while. Like, I had complete stillness of mind. Like, I just didn't even have words going through my head, which was an experience I had only ever previously experienced, like one time in an extreme sort of meditative spiritual state. But I do remember after a while, like, being kind of distraught, or like, I don't know about that. And then the thing that really got that to change was that I started to have these involuntary movements that I wasn't even aware of, like rolling my ankle, moving my mouth, and things like that. And if you know a couple things about that class of meds, there's a really scary thing called tardive dyskinesia and extrapyramidal side effects that can be permanent if you ever see somebody that kind of has like a constant sort of movement. Oh, and I always felt like I had to sway, like shift my weight from foot to foot. So that scared me, and I got on the Cogentin for the side effects. And then eventually we like stopped doing the injections, and lower and lower and lower doses of Haldol, and so on and so forth. Stopping cannabis and alcohol helped a lot with getting off of those meds as well. So another pro tip. Okay, so yeah, that's my rosy rambling for today. Thanks for tuning into Bipolar Brilliance. I always appreciate the likes because it helps other people to find these videos and learn a few things about bipolar disorder. Especially check out the playlists and other things that you can do to advocate, whether you are somebody with bipolar disorder or it's somebody that you know and love, or you just want to help break down the stigma and raise awareness. That's kind of what I'm here for. I'm an open book, so I'm always taking requests for things to address as well. So take care of yourself first so you can hope to be there to take care of others. Till next time. Bye now.